The stroke starts with the foundation on the side, hips stacked, shoulders stacked, head facing down. If you're not comfortable in this position, you can't progress on to anything else. So looking through the stroke, each arm drives straight to its own rail, and that does the rotation on its own. So instead of pulling myself to the other side, I'm trying to drive the high arm down, and that does the roll for me. That allows me to open up much stronger angles for pulling as it comes back. So I'm able to use a much better forearm anchor as opposed to just pulling the hand back. Across the board, my head will stay down and will just gently roll with the body for the breath. As I'm going to each stroke, I'm looking to make sure I do an elbow lead recovery that gives me the leverage to drive to that deep position. I'm also trying to make sure that I coordinate the hip drive with a single kick from each side. Notice the goggle line pointing straight down as I go through stroke to stroke. I have been accused in the past of not doing enough kick on each side. Still looking for just a single snappy kick from each side to help that rotation. Now, it may look lazy at moments in the stroke, but notice that even at the laziest moments of the stroke, it's still moving along at a nice clip past lane markers. The pace done in this video may not seem too fast. It's actually around 108 to 110 per 100 yards. A relaxed pace for a distance swimmer, but not by any means a slow pace for a triathlete. It's very difficult to trust those relaxed moments, but when you see how fast you're moving through them, you realize how much speed you're producing. At times, you'll want to start pulling early, but we're not trying to develop a short distance stroke here. We're trying to develop something that will last just as cleanly in a 50 as it will in a 200, as it will in a 5-mile swim. The same cadence, the same rhythm. Note those arms are not coming across the middle stroke to stroke. They're not coming across in front of the head. They stick to the rails both through the arm, through the hip, through the lats. Everything sticks to its own side of the body, creating one clean, tight tube in the water. Out of the water, look at how relaxed the recovery is. That elbow lead, the arm just swings around with the elbow still in charge throughout stroke to stroke. It's a recovery phase of the stroke. It's not a moment where you should be working your arms hard. That gives you leverage to drive to that deep position without having to add effort in. You just create all that potential energy with it weighting up right above the rail and just drops in with a little nudge from the hip. Head stays down. It looks like my head is fully submerged most times here, except for the breath when it's an effortless roll with the body. All aspects of the stroke have been gotten to by emphasizing drills, emphasizing the right focal points within the stroke, instead of jumping right to full stroke and trying to do it all at once. Get something you know you can do correctly in the drill and try and establish that habit before you bring it to the full stroke. One of the biggest ones for me early on was head down, and as you can see, it's worked.